Every day, buyers spend thousands on hybrid SUVs, believing they chose the smartest option. But years later, many discover the real cost wasn't the price tag. It was the hybrid system underneath. Three SUVs may promise similar efficiency, yet ownership feels completely different. Toyota, Honda, and Mazda each hide trade-offs.
Let's begin with the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, because this is where modern hybrid reliability really starts to make sense. Toyota didn't design this system to be exciting on a test drive. They designed it to be consistent, predictable, and extremely durable over long-term ownership. At the center of this system is the planetary gear setup that replaces a traditional stepped transmission. Instead of shifting through gears in a noticeable way, power is blended continuously between the engine and electric motors. On the surface, this may not sound dramatic, but the real advantage is in simplicity. There are fewer components under constant stress compared to conventional automatic or dual clutch systems. No repeated shifting cycles, no clutch packs constantly engaging, and no sudden mechanical interruptions under load. Everything operates in a smooth and continuous motion designed to reduce wear and maximize lifespan. This is why the RAV4 Hybrid has become so common in fleet use around the world. Taxi drivers, delivery services, and high-mileage users rely on it because it can operate for long hours with minimal mechanical issues. It is not unusual to see these vehicles crossing 200,000 miles and still functioning with their original drivetrain components intact.
However, this reliability-focused engineering also defines its driving personality. When you accelerate hard, the engine does not shift through gears like a traditional SUV. Instead, it rises quickly to a steady RPM and holds it while the vehicle continues to gain speed. This creates a constant engine sound that feels different from conventional automatics. Some drivers accept it easily, while others find it less natural compared to gear-based systems. Inside the cabin, Toyota continues the same philosophy of practicality. Controls are simple and functional, with physical buttons still used for core features like climate control. This reduces distraction and keeps the driving experience straightforward. There is no overcomplication or unnecessary learning curve, which becomes valuable in everyday use. Financially, this is where the RAV4 Hybrid stands out strongly. Toyota has built one of the most consistent resale value records in the industry. Even after several years of use, the RAV4 Hybrid typically retains a higher percentage of its original price compared to most competitors. This reduces long-term ownership costs significantly, especially when it comes time to sell or trade in. But the trade-off is clear. The RAV4 Hybrid is not designed to feel emotional or sporty. It is built to be dependable and financially safe. For many buyers, that is exactly the goal. But for those looking for engagement or excitement, it can feel neutral after extended driving. Now, when you move into the Honda CR-V Hybrid, the entire philosophy changes. Honda focused less on mechanical simplicity and more on how the car feels in everyday driving conditions. The system often operates in an electric-like behavior, where the petrol engine acts mainly as a generator instead of directly driving the wheels. This creates a very smooth driving experience, especially in city traffic. When you pull away from a stop, there is no traditional gear shift or engine surge. The response is immediate, quiet, and linear. In stop-and-go driving, this makes the CR-V Hybrid feel more relaxed and less tiring over time. Honda also emphasizes practicality. The CR-V Hybrid offers strong interior space, making it suitable for families and long-distance travel. Rear seats are comfortable, and cargo capacity is generous enough for daily use, luggage, and shopping needs. The cabin layout focuses on usability rather than complexity. However, this system comes with added mechanical and technical complexity. Compared to Toyota, the hybrid setup involves more components working together, which increases long-term sensitivity. Some owners have reported issues such as carbon buildup in direct injection systems over time. While not universal, it is something worth considering for long-term ownership. Another practical detail is the spare tire situation. In many versions, instead of a full spare wheel, you get a repair kit. This works for small punctures, but becomes a limitation in more serious tire damage situations, where roadside assistance may be required. From a resale perspective, the CR-V Hybrid performs well, but slightly below Toyota. It still holds value strongly, but over time the difference becomes noticeable.
That gap can translate into real financial difference during resale or trade-in.
Finally, the Mazda CX-50 Hybrid takes a different approach. Instead of developing a completely new hybrid system, Mazda partnered with Toyota and uses the same proven hybrid technology. This immediately removes one of the biggest risks in hybrid ownership: uncertainty. You are getting a system already tested across millions of real-world miles. Where Mazda changes the experience is everything around the system. The CX-50 Hybrid feels more premium inside, with better insulation and a more refined cabin environment. Road noise is reduced and the interior feels more controlled compared to typical compact SUVs. Driving dynamics are where Mazda clearly separates itself. Steering is more precise and weighted, giving a stronger connection to the road. The suspension is tuned for stability and control, especially at higher speeds and on uneven surfaces. This makes the driving experience more engaging compared to the more comfort-focused Toyota and Honda. But these improvements come with trade-offs. Fuel efficiency is slightly lower than Toyota due to tuning choices and driving dynamics. It is not a major difference, but it matters for efficiency-focused buyers. Also, because the CX-50 Hybrid is relatively newer as a complete package, long-term resale and ownership data is still developing. So, in the end, each SUV represents a different priority. Toyota focuses on long-term reliability and financial safety. Honda focuses on smoothness, comfort, and city driving ease. Mazda focuses on driving engagement while still using proven hybrid technology.
And this is where it all comes down to one decision. Not just about specs, but about what kind of ownership experience you truly want. Because none of these hybrids are perfect. They simply serve different drivers. Toyota, Honda, and Mazda each reward different priorities, habits, and expectations over time.